Unauthorized opinions expressed on the internet would be censored.
We are live. This is real. Welcome back to Unauthorized Opinions, uopod.com. Like, share, subscribe.
It's pure propaganda and it's super cringe, by the way.
I literally went to the polls with nothing in mind. I saw a can of orange soda in the parking lot. And I was like, yeah, there we go. An unopened can of orange soda just chilling in the parking lot. I was like, yeah, I got to vote for Trump, dude.
Your podcast sucks. It's mental, mate. It's absolutely mental.
I'll be honest, I thought it was kind of offensive when you talk so much about the Loch Ness Monster.
Political climate.
And Andrew, treat yourself, okay? Especially if you start, I don't know, getting in good with homeless people.
Unauthorized Opinions, streaming everywhere at uopod.com. Cock-a-doodly-doodly-doo, man.
Sunflower seeds.
Yeah, exactly.
I know where you're going.
Lots of spitting involved. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to another Industry Says podcast. We'll keep that in. With the Danger Cats. How are you guys doing? How's Ontario treating you, first of all?
Take the lead. Excellent. Ontario has treated us excellent for our first foray through this province. The three of us, I've been back here since 2019. The people coming out have been amazing. And even if the show hasn't been a complete sellout, they've all been well attended. We didn't have one dud on the whole month. Agreed?
Yeah.
It's been
I'll
great.
sign off on that. Belleville, actually, our last show is probably our favorite.
Yeah, by far.
What, any stark differences here since you've been here last between, life in Ontario and life in Alberta? I find, just in general, Ontario to be its own island of despair a little bit compared to the rest of the country. I don't know how you guys feel coming from another province there.
Well, forget COVID. Just now, present day, 25 cents per kilometer for your highway. $3 to get rid of garbage bags per bag in Belleville. Yeah, Belleville, $3.
They're charging people in Belleville.
You gotta buy tags, $3 per bag.
Terrible.
25 cents per kilometer on the highway. This is bad.
Well, I can tell you where I'm from, the Durham region. We don't have to pay for our garbage, other than taxes, of course. But the toll highway you speak of, they built that, sold it away to foreign entities, and that is to, dilute the traffic from the other highway, the 401, which is jam-packed every day. I'd say obviously make it free, but Doug Ford, everybody.
Yeah.
Swallowing bees.
Yeah.
Swallowing your money.
Amen to that. Also, one thing that irritates me is not being able to put any sports bets down out here. Because
what's happening there?
Because all the apps that I use to gamble on, they have restrictions with your provincial laws.
What do you use?
Bet365 and Betway.
It's very British of you. I use Bodog, so that works for me.
Oh.
When you sign in, I have a VPN on my stuff.
Yeah.
I completely do everything properly.
Got him.
And when you go to log in, it's like, oh, you are logged in a place where this is not legal. You must be visiting. Sign in anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Normal. Sorry, Bodog, we'll cut that out. You're very good to me. But yeah, I don't know, that's weird. I think they have an exclusive deal with DraftKings, that's why, in Ontario.
Oh, okay, that would explain it.
I'm down about 11 grand to drop DraftKings stock right now, so I need to hear good.
Did you actually? That's intense.
Yeah.
Are you a gambling man?
No, not like I bought the stock, and the stock is way down.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, but the reason you bought into DraftKings is it because you're gambling?
Because I heard everyone talking gamble. We're 3 minutes into a podcast.
Yeah.
You go, I use Bodog, I use this. How do you gamble? So I saw society talking about it much like mushrooms, and that's also down. So
yeah, stay away from the mushroom stock.
Yeah. Danny Diamond Hands over here.
Yeah.
He's holding on.
Yeah, bad.
What other investments are we investing in, guys?
Myself.
That's
life.
100%, yeah. And,
just yourself?
in answer to your, do I gamble? Yes, every day with my life. But I don't put money down on frivolous bets with frivolous people playing imaginary games.
Imaginary games?
Yeah, it's the referee's game. The players are just visiting. And there's an eye in the sky, a producer going like, yeah, we need to stretch this into 7 games. I'm not saying sports is fake, but they always make it to overtime. You ever notice that? What excitement, what betting. So you're talking about betting, and it's in direct relation to the ruination of pure sports. You guys are ruining it by betting all the time.
You know, I used to have a catchphrase that everything was fake. I'm feeling that vibe from you. I've since backed off it a little bit, which is clearly a mistake. But I do get the vibe from you that we would converse for 6 to 8 hours on everything being fake. True or false?
Yes. We are living in a simulation. This is a simulated society. Offices are warehouses for stupid people. Schools are indoctrination centers for good factory workers. There is nothing real about this other than the real people that you interact with. Like, I know real people. I'm sitting here with them. But the majority of the world is on autopilot. NPCs.
NPCs, I was going to say.
100%.
How far along this road are you, personally? In comparison, I guess, is a good way to put it.
Me and him get going down the road pretty steady together when it especially comes to sports. Like, we'll be losing our minds a little bit here. What's a third period or a fourth quarter? What game were we watching the other day where it just miraculously, somehow, some way?
And that's because Jimmy Butler is one of the best players in the league. You can't script what he did.
Yeah, but there was like
you can call a penalty. You can call a penalty.
Yeah, there was a foul late in the fourth.
And have you guys seen any of that stuff about the NBA referee who admitted to the gambling? And the way he sort of framed it was that, people expect this guy to get 10 rebounds tonight. Well, I guess rebounds are much harder, but to get over 20 points or get 10 trips to the line, it's much easier to guide that stuff than it is to actually, put points up on the board. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've read that guy's name.
Yeah.
Philosopher over time.
Yes. And same with, we were talking about that Div 1 basketball player who would shave points.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he was ranked to go high in the NBA draft, but he fucked himself because snitches.
Yeah.
Snitches.
Oh, sorry. What are the language parameters
Zero.
for this? Okay.
So I'm told by close sources that you've got a bit of a sharp tongue when it comes to the words.
Thank you. I'm a professional comedian and writer, so I damn well better. But in my set, there's actually very little swearing that goes on. If I do swear, it is for full effect. I don't just throw profanities out there just for the fuck of it.
Ooh. Whoa, you can't say that on the internet.
It means something. It means something when you say it, right? And so, I try.
The lesson I'm learning today from Comedic Mind is that, what was it you said? $50 word, $50 meetup.
Oh, yeah.
$50 setup. So use a $50 word. Yeah, make it worth it if you're going to drop a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't give those words away for free on the internet. You gotta come to the show.
True.
I don't know, you've been cutting promos with 50s in them lately.
Yeah, I'm a man of the people. I like to give a little.
Yeah. Like a reverse GoFundMe.
Yeah.
You give to them.
Yeah, the hard RSP is collecting.
Accruing.
Yeah, that's what we call it on the road when we drop a 50 in the bus or something like that. We just add it. Yeah, it just goes to the fund. Yeah.
The hard RSP.
Oh,
that's our investment fund. That's what we.
Interesting. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the name of a special. I think if I ever heard one. We've all been there liquidating our RSPs, is what I thought you were talking about first.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Time to recall.
55. Yeah. Cash it. Yeah.
I was how old? Exclusive.
You already cashed your RSP.
I had to. You had to live, man.
You fucked up.
I did. I went in the military. That was a mistake.
They took 50%.
They took 50% of my heart, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened? What put you in this position?
I left the military.
How long ago?
2011.
Honorably discharged?
No,
They
just
say
left.
dishonorably?
It was a lot of discharge.
A lot of more discharged than honor?
I feel like I'm supposed to be the one telling you guys not to say ridiculous things, and then I just say
No, we said something.
And then, went to school foolishly again.
Yeah.
And there goes your lack of money.
What'd you take in school?
First, I took radio, which is why I'm so great speaker.
Okay, yeah.
On the college radio, everybody.
Yeah.
What up, George Strombolopoulos? He came to our graduation. Doesn't drink, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Was straight.
Oh, yeah?
He claimed.
That's all I'll say to that.
Uh,
Yes, he does. Been to the Stampede a few times. Yeah.
And then I took advanced public relations.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the public relations world is not the greatest world. It's a lot of lying.
Mm.
And now I'm here. So there's about a 10-year gap there, but now I'm here.
Hey, there it is.
Seeking
Truth, right?
truth.
Yeah. You're tired of lies, so now you're in
That's
a more
true.
truthful platform. Right?
Tired of the lies, seeking the truth. That'll be my book.
And everything is fake.
It is. It really is. You know, you can talk, oh, it's conspiracies, but it is absolutely not. There's people are willfully complicit in ignorance.
NASA says they're going to the moon soon, didn't they? They're returning.
And a Canadian is gonna be on there.
Who else is going to be on there?
An African gentleman, I forget his name.
What is it, the magnetic tapes from the 1969, or is it the 71 or 72 one? All the footage of the original moon landing went missing. Were they recorded over it? Which one was that, Sam?
All of them. They lost all of them. The telemetry data, as it's known,
The black
which
box
is
data.
everything. Do you know how much computer power they got to the moon on? That they claimed?
64 kilobytes or some shit?
Yes, that is the equivalent of wah, 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 macaroni in the pot on an MP3. That lyric right there is the equivalent. Yes.
Specifically that lyric? That's pretty good.
Yes.
I like how he addresses the camera too, like it's a lecture. Like this isn't for you. He knows there are students at home with their notepads writing.
Yeah, you go look it up. And
Where?
at NASA.
He checked the file size of like an MSN Messenger profile photo, 64.
Yeah.
Now I've read and watched about most of the stuff, probably you more than I. That's why I love asking the questions about it, so I can understand what other people interpreted from watching the stuff. I've seen most of it. What was I we were talking about, my friend and I today, the idea that snipers need to incorporate the rotation of the Earth into shots that are over a couple kilometers long. Thoughts?
No, absolutely no.
Yeah, the Coriolis effect.
Yeah. No. That's it. It doesn't work. You like a bullet doesn't go straight. When you're shooting it at a long distance, you gotta lob it in there.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And these guys know what they're doing. It's not the curve of the Earth. They're not shooting like. Supposedly, the math on this is for every mile it goes up 8 inches. Like that's the elevation. So for engineering and everything, they have to trains would have to be going uphill all the time. It's complete horseshit. You go to the Panama Canal. There is no bend in the Panama Canal. You cannot see the curve of the Earth. Lighthouses. Does the light curve over the horizon? No, it doesn't.
It doesn't reach the horizon. It's not a sun.
No, but if the
It's just a
if the
1,000-watt bulb.
oh, Brett got it.
See, this is a conversation that I want to watch, so I'm glad we're having it here.
Brett, if the Earth is curved, then you wouldn't be able to see the lighthouse from a certain distance.
Right. There's a lot of things you can't see from a certain distance. Right?
Of course.
Like a kilometer away, if you stood away from me, I probably wouldn't be able to see you because you're a kilometer.
Well, that's because of the curve of the Earth. I'm disappearing and I'm not there.
The Earth is massive, and you would still be visible. It wouldn't be. It's not like 1 kilometer is the diameter of the Earth. You're not on the other side of it. You're just on the other side of the parking lot, but it's far away. So you're tiny.
No, lighthouses are proof that the Earth is solid and flat.
So one lighthouse should be able to take a telescope and zoom in on another lighthouse somewhere else?
No, because over certain distances, yes. Like there are many examples all across the world that we know that you can see tremendous different distances. Whereas if there was a curve in the Earth, you would not be able to see it.
He's right about the bullet, though. Theoretically, if there's people on the other side of a hill for a certain amount of distance, they teach you in the military that you can just fire at a certain height and it will drop down. It's called enfiladed fire because of the shape of the bullets. So it lands flat on top of people, makes them explode if the bullet's big enough.
And I think the bullet drops because of
gravity, which is
that word?
Density of the bullet, and then the propulsion that it's shot out.
What sparked all of this?
It's been fairly recent. I never even really gave it too much thought, but it was definitely within the last 3 years. I was like, this is a pack of lies. and then I just started really like, I didn't even start watching like, this wasn't like I came across late night YouTube videos. It was these silly fucks in the car talking about like, oh, proof space is real. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? How come I've never seen a fucking satellite picture of the Earth from the top down? Or how come a plane has never circumnavigated the globe north to south? All sorts of things. And they're like, oh, it's too cold. Up in space, it's too cold for the International Space Station to go north.
Is there a big radiation belt at the top? That's what they say. That's why it's hard to get to the moon, they say.
It's an ice wall, Daddy.
That's all around. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like none of it makes sense. And I'm going purely by Google. Like I go to Google and go, how fast is the Earth rotating? How fast is the International Space Station? Now you want to have a good time. You watch the International Space Station Instagram. They got motherfuckers up there wearing glasses. That's how I called this before the interview even started. That's how I know space is fake, is they would never put up some Poindexter with glasses on the International Space Station.
I don't know if Poindexter was the word you used.
First off, he'd lose, I can't find my glasses. Yeah. Or what happens if they floated over to the window and the sun shone in and started a fire?
What's your favorite one?
Where do the astronauts shit while they're in space?
Yeah, exactly. That would be your that. Oh, they're
President diapers? I believe.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what you do when you do highly technical medical experiments, is crap in your pants while you're doing it.
I hate to throw it back to the military again, that's what people do on patrols.
Yeah, because you're in the military. You guys are retards. Straight up.
Where's the $50 bill up to that one?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you better invest
Your 20s, I guess, your entire life up until now, that was the build-up.
MTFs, that's what we have in our investment profile.
NFTs?
No, MTFs.
What's that?
And male to females.
Yeah,
How'd you guys meet, if I could throw it into an Oprah-like direction?
I lied to Brett that I had 10 minutes worth of comedy.
I called his bluff.
No, you put me on your team.
that's right. You did.
I cashed in. You're right, I did.
We were okay. So Brett had a show 2 years, and then
Showcase.
Yeah, it was a showcase, and him and his ex
Fiance.
Yeah, this guy that doesn't even really exist anymore. He was he wanted to be a comedian. Now he's a professional runner, running from his problems.
His teeth.
He was 1/4 of the 2 meters podcast.
Yes. You can go look it up online and find out who he is, but I'm not going to even bother mentioning his name. Anyway, Brett and him were doing a podcast.
Yeah, and then
Which included a live show once a week.
He was
where
gonna
we
share
showcase comics, and he had reached out to me because you like my bullshit online. I was ruffling some feathers, so we did a podcast, got along, and then he wanted to start stand-up, and I said, you got 10 minutes? And he went, yep. And that was a lie. But he pulled the rabbit out of his ass like he's done many times. And not only did he fill 10 minutes, but it was a winning 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Took home the W and the cash prize. Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah, beat me.
Yeah.
Everything's going money with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're high production value.
Which means everything's money, euphemisms. That's all I got.
Yeah. Sam's ancestors were Jewish, so it stems from where he's the elder one in the group, so he passes on his knowledge to us while we're held hostage in Honda Ridgeline for 2.5 hours.
Is that what your Ancestry.ca says, Sam?
Accurate.
No.
German heritage, actually.
Yeah, German, Scottish, and Irish.
Fascinating.
You don't believe it?
It's trouble. I believe it, but my ancestors were like one of the original Americans, and then they were Quakers. And Quakers are like guys that don't fucking take shit from nobody and do things their own ways. And they left the old land and came to the new country.
I was similar background with French people. first ones to come to Canada, among the first 3 groups. In the 1700s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
Deep rooted here.
Yeah, unfortunately it's French, but deep roots. I have a feeling, if I was to tell you, Sam, was it 23andMe? The woman who is the CEO of 23andMe is the sister of the CEO of YouTube. What's going on there?
How convenient.
Exactly.
How convenient. Yeah, this is all, it's just so murky and muddied. First off, 23andMe, total absolute horseshit. This is way before 2020 that I was like, I am not paying for the pleasure of sending in my biological DNA so you can figure out all my...
How to kill you?
Yeah, they really can. And information is the new currency. That is the thing. And people pay money to give away their most intimate details when these fuckers should be paying you for the most intimate details.
It's true. Everything's like mailing lists now, I think. Everything is, can you get the email to somebody to send them stuff? That's where the money is now. If you guys got any schemes about that, let me know. Use a few emails.
Ooh. I just love how you said like information is the new currency, but like your information is like, like lighthouses can't see each other. Like, your proof is like, why is my hair not blowing in the wind if we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour? You know, I need hard, concrete proof.
You don't trust your eyes and you don't trust your senses. You're trusting what they tell you on a TV screen. This is Plato's cave playing out in real time, and this guy's sitting there watching the shadows, perfectly happy. Well, I'm fucking out in the sunshine and living the life.
How do you explain the sun every day doing that loop? What is that then?
It's not a loop, man. It goes around.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, explain that then. What's that?
That's them rotating around us. We're not rotating around them.
Okay. So we are what?
The stars would always be changing position.
Is the sun round? Is it circular? Is it a sphere?
I'm looking at it, but it ain't fucking 50 million miles away or whatever they're saying it is.
So every other thing that we can see in the sky is a sphere except us.
How do you know it's a sphere?
I'm asking you, is it a circle, a sphere? What do you consider?
First off, you have never even seen an actual picture of another planet. Like, it is all 100% Photoshop.
All I can see everything, I guess, is the closest.
They take a picture and then they take artistic liberties, and they have a massive department that just does this shit all day.
Big
all day
over there at NASA. 80 billion, I want to say. Fact check, everybody.
Huge. And all it is special effects and programming. And these astronauts, do you know how many astronauts there's actually been? Less than 300 of these fuckers. That's like...
Roberta Bondar. Shout out. Remember, you guys get taught about that in school?
Yeah.
Canadarm?
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know who the first person to walk on the moon was?
I know the alleged first person to walk on the moon. So not Lance. Lance Armstrong. That's what I was going to say.
The first man to walk on the moon was Michael Jackson.
He was the first man in the mirror as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
First person to see his own reflection. Michael Jackson. If the sun goes around this way, then explain why we see half of it go away and it rises in a half semicircle each day.
Because it goes out a distance, Brett.
Okay, so when something goes in the distance, does it just fade away and become a dot, or does it all of a sudden just lose the bottom half of its torso?
That's interesting. That kind of contradicts the whole distance thing.
So what's happening? Explain a sunrise and sunset, because it's clearly not getting smaller or larger, it's just losing its shape and disappearing behind the horizon.
We found a crack in the armor.
There's a few cracks. I would argue there's more cracks than armor. But we'll find out.
The thing about space and time with car rides with these guys is a 2.5 hour car ride can feel like 15 minutes.
Yeah, you feel like the middle child here?
Yeah, 100%, because this is what I sit through.
You're the rubber bushing right now, or else we're already...
It's metal on metal.
Physical. We're already off the truck.
This cuts to your life.
This is what we call Woody Woodpecker bullshit.
Knocking on his door. In his head.
And I stirred Grandpa up, and the wheel just gets tighter. The grip gets tighter.
Yeah. Are there any other topics that this happens for?
No, this is about the only one.
Right now, this has been the big one for the past 8 months.
Yeah.
8 months.
So can you explain the sun? Can you explain that? disappearing.
Yeah, it goes out of our sight. That's purely everything. Like, you can't go to the Pacific Ocean and see across to the other side because there's water particulates in the air, and eventually you just can only see a certain amount of distance.
Have you been on the Flat Earth Guys podcast? I forget his name, Weiss or something?
No, I haven't. I don't hang out in those circles.
I should give you his email. Emailed me once.
This is purely these guys making fun of me, and then me going, you know what? These guys don't have any fucking proof.
No, we don't.
They don't. And then when you look at anything space related, it's fucking horse shit. It's so fake, and people eat it up.
It's just a model that happens to explain things. Whether it's real or not, I can combine gravity and mass and things like this and create a model.
So explain dust floating in the air. If there's a force of gravity so hard that it pulls the oceans and the mountains and holds it to the bottom of the earth.
Yeah.
Then how can a fucking bird be flying through the sky? How can fish be? How come they're not getting sucked to the bottom of the ocean?
Because of the weight of the dust particle.
Buoyancy and density. Suddenly science is becoming reality.
Correct? It always has been.
What do you want? What's on your mind?
Right now?
World events.
What's one thing that's irritating me? Oh, what was I going off about the other day? Oh, the conservative fear porn. That's been bothering me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what was it? There was a documentary about how like sex trafficking and porn are related. It's like, there's always like a 3% fucking. Everybody always zeroes in on the 3%. Oh, it's like, that's the evil, and they just get you riled up, like I'm doing right now about their fact checking. And it drives me nuts because people are just so stupid all the time to just look past it, to be like, yeah, you're right, we got it. And it's easy to it's like Bill C-11. That's another one. Hey, we're going to promote more Canadian content. How does that sound, everybody? And then every retarded Canadian is just like, oh, that's great. And it's the same thing with radio and television. When's the last time you watched Canadian television?
Exactly. It's like 90s commercials on YouTube.
Fair enough.
Sucker for that. Yeah. It's always like the YTV commercials.
The nostalgia. Yeah, you're going back to the nostalgia.
That's right.
But even with Canadian radio, when do you listen to Canadian radio? Nobody listens to fucking Canadian radio. Nobody has listened to Canadian radio. Now they're doing it with the internet. Now they're convincing you, oh, hey, we're going to get more Canadian content out there.
35%. You learned that in radio school.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to start doing this podcast in French.
Bonjour. That's what I got so far. My father didn't teach me French. I can sort of understand it. If they got the Quebec accent. I've tried to watch things that are from France, so I have no idea. And then when I was doing street interviews, a few weeks ago, there's for some reason a lot of people from France in downtown Toronto at the time. Like 3 different groups of people I went up to were from France. And I tried to speak French to one of them a little bit. And I'm like, I speak a little bit of French. And I said like a sentence and they're like, yeah, and that was basically they spat on me and threw cheese at me. Yeah.
They were in town for the reptile conventions.
What was that?
They were in town for the reptile conventions. They were the amphibious frog.
That was sort of the precursor to a lot of this conspiracy stuff. Was the lizard eye, the eye switching of the lizard people. I remember there was one. I think it was one of Barack Obama's bodyguards, and they said this guy's a lizard person. And then when they zoomed in, they got another angle. He was really ugly.
The bald guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He did look rather lizard-like.
It did look like a shapeshifter. The way the pixels moved, it did seem like the head got pointy and then round. Yeah.
There was George Bush, Tony Blair, the UK Prime Minister at the time, and the Queen were all lizards. And they had to turn into lizards for 20 minutes a day. That's what I remember reading.
Yeah.
Still true to this day, I think.
You think so?
No matter who becomes Prime Minister, has to then get indoctrinated into the lizard group.
Like the faculty when they have to decide.
Speaking of 90s.
Yeah, they gotta drink as an alien once a day out in the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Football practice.
Joshua Jackson, shout out. He's got a new show coming out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's the handsome guy with the long bangs, right?
No,
No,
that's James
that's-
Vanderbeek.
Oh.
If we're gonna go Dawson's Creek theory on
Yeah, I
this.
thought you were talking about Josh Hartnett.
No.
Guys that pull off bangs. That doesn't exist anymore. Maybe Brad Pitt. That's about it.
I have a special place in my heart for Dawson's Creek, and then tried to rewatch it a couple of years ago, and it's not very good. It's literally just him complaining about his girlfriend wanting to have sex with him. That's the thesis of the first 3 seasons. It's him not wanting to have sex with what's her name?
Tom Cruise's ex-wife.
Yes, Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Her name was Joey, by the way, in the show. And I said, Joey, what if I just want to be a teenager, just for one time? What if I just wanted to be a guy and not care about the pressures of sex in high school?
It's a good job with the pressures of sex in high school.
Let's explore that.
I felt that pressure. I never released it. lot of build up.
I was saying to Hack earlier that I was watching a podcast you guys filmed most recently, video last night. Clicked halfway through, and the first sentence I got was, "You haven't whacked off in the house yet."
But that's, I don't know if he said that.
Does the,
did.
He went, look.
Does the garage count?
Yes.
All right.
Backyard for all the construction workers. Hey boys.
Yeah, I don't like using pornography, so I was looking at the guy.
Because it's a pathway to trafficking.
That's right. The next thing you know, you're getting sold in the Chinese market, according to them.
So yeah, this is where it goes. It's like having sex is the number one reason for human trafficking, and that this is a cope and a cop out for them to be like to blame it on pornography when it's like it's actually you're having sex with literally. And that's
pretty good. No, thanks for making me edit now.
Why it has to be Ukrainian?
Because that's where there's a gigantic war going on, and in the fog of war, you can get massive amounts of people trafficked in and out of places without any passports, and it's a perfect excuse. So like, oh, these little children don't have passports. We're rescuing them from the evil Russians. Or vice versa. The Ukrainians are being rescued by the Russians, and it's just like a black hole of money laundering and. God knows what's going on.
Show us the fog of war right now.
Yeah.
I think it gets sucked off by Ukrainian in that fog. Yeah.
Sam Walker's making a lot of sense. How much time we got left on that?
32 minutes.
That's good.
32 minutes left in the lecture class. Thank you for
Yeah.
There's a GoFundMe link at the bottom of this. It's for
So
They lied.
He only has one. We need to raise some money to buy him a second.
Possibly a new one, because this one could be.
What is?
You've been beating off in the garage too much with that one.
For those who, there's going to be a crossover now of, old men that watch me and the people that watch you guys. We're going to wonder about the glove. What's the origin story?
Oh, I think it's fairly obvious.
Oh, can I explain this?
Construction?
He wears a leather glove. This is how he deals with a wasp attack. If there's a bee ever zooming
Not
around.
a bee, a wasp. I don't kill bees.
Well, I started with wasp. I went to bee. All right. Just
Never
That's
happened.
like tell a story, right? You don't use the same word over and over each sentence. You right click, synonyms, new words for a word. All right.
Yeah.
So when dealing with a hornetto, this guy,
Are you Spanish?
could be
Iranian.
could be
Forte is very Iranian.
could be. So the bee's hovering, the wasp, fucking whatever it is, it's hovering around. He immediately turns his back to the sun, which is manipulated by man. And so he can see the hornet's shadow. And this is when he puts on the glove, locates where the shadow is, and just blindly grabs it out of midair and crushes it with his leather glove.
So why wear the glove now then?
He's ready.
Because I'm doing the dirty work right now.
Dish the dishes.
Yeah.
So the glove is, I don't want to say a bit, but it's something you guys don't subscribe to. You don't believe that, you don't believe the reasoning behind the glove.
He also likes to feel up dead skin. It's cop. It's true. That's not a joke.
Okay.
It's true. I didn't even have to look like Steph Curry. I knew it was it.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was it.
Yeah. These actually, I bring these everywhere I go in case I have to engage in some sort of form of manual labor. And
Happens a lot. You're doing construction area right now.
people put me to work all the time. I always like to help out, and I like to keep my hands safe
His skin also, who has the best skin here? Sam. Like, look how smooth his complexion is, how soft it is, right? I have acne, I'm 31 with acne, I'm a loser. This guy, 43. And we're in a double date. We're in a double date one time. My girl and his girl both fawning over him on each side, touching his skin, like, how do you get your skin so smooth? And he just goes, bathwater. As he cuts into a fucking piece of pizza. He uses a knife and fork for a fucking slice of pizza.
Same with the chocolate bar?
Yeah, I have seen this shit. Haven't you?
My dad does that. It started as a Seinfeld thing.
He eats painfully slow. Just little bites. This is why we have to get to the restaurant at like 3 p.m. for an 8 p.m. show.
Early bird.
Because he likes to fucking cut his peas in half.
We also made a new rule for him: no more waffles before he goes.
Oh, I called this one immediately.
Yeah.
This big waffle comes to the table 2 hours before showtime, and I'm like, oh, old sugar crash over here. You're gonna be fucking snoozing mid-show. You're gonna forget everything. And I was just put it on the board. I'm getting a fucked up intro tonight. It's always a joke, because my credit is I was at the Hollywood Comedy Festival, but Sam goes, he was at the Hollywood Olympics. He goes to the Hollywood Olympics, and the crowd's like, what the fuck are we about to see? It's like, a contortionist? What is this? A gay contortionist?
You had to add that caveat in there.
Yeah. So I go with my hula hoop and shit. And sure enough, what did we get while our intro? So he comes out, first of all, bowls into the mic stand. That goes crashing. Mic spills. He's got to get his flashlight out, locate it. And then he's out of breath.
Put the mic back in while I was.
Yeah, and he's gassed from doing his big X-Pac intro. Nice. Across the crowd. Suck it.
Again, $50 lead up.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from you.
And then he throws his pit vipers in the air. You fucking ready? Right? Got the city. He knew what city he was in.
Where was that?
And then that's where that's where it gets lost in the fog of war, as I say.
Yeah.
And then he goes, fucking, we got the motor mouth on the internet, Uncle Hack. And he goes, you got probably the most handsome guy ever, Brett Forte. So, like, the grassroots, when he remembers nothing, the first thing he can think of is just, he's handsome. And then picture 90% guys in the audience are like, oh, okay, cool. Like, not the show we signed up for. We don't give a shit. And then he goes, and that's all after. And he gets this, like, deer in headlights look, and he forgets who he is. He forgets his own name. All because of the waffle. All because the blood is in the stomach, not the brain.
Is this accurate?
Yes. So I fucked up. Once.
Yeah.
And whatever you gotta do, you gotta fuel your body. Like, whether you're using your mind or your body, it doesn't matter. It takes the same amount of fuel, and for whatever reason, we were at a wind piece.
Nice. We got those here too.
Yeah. We're
This was here.
Okay.
The other night.
Well, it sounds like it was hundreds of years ago.
He just cleared the fog, like, today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, waffle, that sounds nice. On that.
I've been drunk off a waffle for days.
Yeah, it wasn't the right fuel for the show.
You gotta use a little jukebox in the booth.
It was broken.
Yeah.
Sign of the times.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Everything out here is disgusting.
No. That's why everything's broken. Yeah. And I can't believe how much you guys pay for everything out here. You guys are just getting put over a barrel, and like 6 longshoremen come in and taxi to death.
Yeah, I got looks when I said hole of despair for Ontario. Was that looks of understanding? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a massive population out here, and for them to be living within their confines of their simulation, like, it's just like, this is your allotted space where you can go, and this is where you're allowed to wander, so just go about your days.
That's what this whole subdivision is like. That build sounded really Canadian. That's what the whole subdivision's like there, but pack everybody into the...
Yeah.
Let's talk about, you guys are Canadian icons, right? Any comments on, like, what is the NHL doing? I mean, we're a little bit past it now, but they turned me off. I know you guys are probably huge hockey fans, but what does the NHL need to do to get an audience back, like, for myself, do you think? Because I think they've gone farthest of any sports league in terms of being political, in my opinion. How do we return to the goodness of what I remember the NHL?
I'll say that they are probably the only league to have backlash from their own athletes and organizations by like you're probably getting to like the pride thing and all that.
Yeah, but I didn't want to hammer you with.
Okay, well, we're used to that. You don't see who we got to ride in the car with. You can throw it right in our face, and it's okay.
Yeah, we got our own Ian Provorov.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ivan.
Did I call him Ian?
Yeah, we know what's where you're on.
Yeah. Yeah. All that.
What do they need to do? Simple. Let them play. Let them just play some goddamn hockey. That's it. It's such a simple solution. If you look at it, like, what does the consumer want from the product? And it was like, when was hockey at its highest? When it was the most violent. We love violence. So just let them fucking tell them refs, fuck off. Put the whistle in your pocket. They'll figure it out. They had tough guys for a reason. They just policed the whole life. You want Bob Probert, that dog right there? You want him going nuts? No, he's on 2 grams of cocaine and he's gonna beat the hell out of your whole team. Don't wake him up. That's all you need. You need a gacked out fucking maniac at the end with CTE that's just ready to pop at any moment. You smack him on the shoulders and it's just like snaps him right away. That'll even the game out. And then we're back to where we need to be.
Yeah, but I like seeing this move where they fucking.
No, I hate that. I hate that. The Michigan, I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Classic.
I can't wait for somebody to fucking go to knock that puck out and they take a whole front row out. They'd be like, oh, looks like that move really worked, didn't it? Smart boy.
You ever show anybody the clips of the skate throat slits?
Oof. Those are tough to watch.
Somebody see that for the first time?
They don't wear throat guards anymore. Are they all wearing that Thomas Plekanec?
Thomas Plekanec, you mean?
What are they doing now for the throat? I don't see goalies wearing the shield anymore.
They're just that skilled.
Oh. What happened? It's got to be like an advancement in something they wear.
I don't know, maybe the collars come up higher or something, I'm not sure.
I don't see them removing safety from goalies all of a sudden when they're saying like, oh, you can't hit each other elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Must be something.
You know, there's a clip I saw the other day of, it was Bill Burr and Wayne Gretzky. I don't know who show it's on, 2017. And Bill Burr was saying, or the interviewer says, how's hockey going to get to the next level? You know, it's getting better and better. And I give them a B+, but how do they get to be an A- or an A+? And he says, you don't do anything, because if you want to get to the A+, then you're going to have to start, having pink jerseys, and I don't know who he says going to sing. I'll say Cher is going to have to sing, and then Wayne Gretzky goes, I don't think we're ever going to see the Flyers in a pink jersey. And it didn't take very long for them to get to that next level and do those exact same things. Mm-hmm. So shout out Bill Burr for being an oracle, I guess, but it went that way. It turned me off big time, and as a Leafs fan, I'm easily turned off by failures.
Yeah.
And I've just found myself turning to the UFC, frankly, for the say whatever you want, we don't care.
Mm-hmm. Sort of just fight. Wear whatever the fuck you want. You want pride shirts, wear them. We don't care. Just show up and fight.
There was a guy who got kicked out of the UFC for wearing a Speedo and fight. Look that one up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually told that you carry, 20 Speedos on you?
Look, not that many, but I got a couple. The occasions arise.
You never know when you gotta swim. That's
very true. Yeah.
Anders.
Mm-hmm. We get hot tub parties going on too.
Well, we don't.
These things.
Never been invited to one of those.
Bathtub parties.
Yeah, exactly. Water bowl.
Yeah, I do play some water bowl.
What's water bowl?
Yeah, you get it all sudsed up, right? And then you just start, guessing.
What is the bowl? Where does that come from?
Like water mole. There's whack-a-mole.
Oh,
and there's water mole.
Mole. Okay.
Yeah, so you got
the language barrier
in the shroud of the bubbles in the fog of war. You don't know where that mole's gonna pop up.
They didn't have that at Playdium when I went a couple months ago.
You gotta try to get it with your mouth instead of a mouth.
Too many kids there. You guys have a Playdium out there? No, they don't, do they?
No.
It's just a giant. You used to have it, so you know what it is.
Yeah.
It just feels like the 90s in there. You go in there, floor is sticky, too many kids, they got crappy burgers, and there's some. You can drink in there though.
Yeah.
You can walk around with booze and play around 6-year-olds and play all the games you forgot about. Giant Hungry Hungry Hippos is a good one.
Okay.
But then there's the parents that just let their kids sit. One parent was letting their kids sit on the hungry hippos, just doing nothing. Wasn't playing, just sitting there. We're waiting there. Long story short, we took the kid.
And how's the kid doing?
Trafficking now.
See?
Big
It's
fog of war. Big problem.
Fog of war.
Yeah.
Shit
in
happens.
the news business.
That's be the name of this episode.
The
Fog of war.
Yeah. Well, it's all sorts of bells and shiny whistles. I remember when I was a kid. Arcade. Yeah, arcade was the internet where you get picked up by guys in vans. That's what they do. That was the #1 recruiting place for pimps. Was at arcades and like bus stations.
They're used to dealing with quarters anyways.
Oh yeah.
Pimp is a very flattering term. Pedophile, by the way. Just so you know. Pimps.
Yeah, I know. But
Arcades are gone. Where did they go?
now they're calling them yaps.
What?
Youth attracted people.
Okay, right.
It's no longer maps. It's
Minor
yaps.
attract. No, okay, we've gone on from that.
Yeah, it's youth.
Hmm.
So that's the back to it. Back to first off, I could give a rat's ass about professional sports.
Yeah.
And all this horse shit because it's a gigantic distraction. You should have seen the slovenly police officers
I was going to say
cower in their boots the last time the Flames had a playoff run and everybody showed up.
Mm-hmm. The Red Mile.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
They were hiding. They were smiling and shaking hands and being real nice because they knew if they took away these guys' hockey, they were getting fucked, and there was nothing they can do about it. If you have 1,000 people, you can go anywhere.
Just picture this being like shown into a geography class in grade 9. Listen, kids.
If you have 1,000 people, you can go anywhere. There is nothing they can do to stop you. And
Famous words said on January 5th. Next day.
What oath are you keeping?
Yeah.
so they placate the population with sports and gatherings and stuff like that. Unlike Uncle Hack here, I enjoy the spirit of the sport and letting these guys play, but it has become commercialized. And you know what? The NHL a couple of years ago needed to know your personal healthcare information to come into the building and enjoy their product. So being as everybody in the NHL loves to give their information out and are so well with it, I think the referees should tell us where their kids go to school and what neighborhoods they live in. And then we can play a hockey game.
We got to get Sam on all the podcasts.
Wow. Yes.
Our mutual friend Keen, get him on the, what's the Sam Tripoli one, I think, probably.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. Tinfoil podcast.
Yeah.
I respect what Sam does for the normie version.
Couple Sams.
Yeah.
Collabing.
Mm-hmm. It's a great comic, too.
I'd watch that, yeah. And who knows, we could even get you on Roseanne. Guest starring role. Golden Globe right now. Isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be Roseanne's avenging ghost. Because they killed her off.
Yeah, but you'd probably be, what was the sister's husband? What's her name?
No, I could be the guy that sold her the fence that she died from. And I come back and apologize to somebody, and then I get DJ hooked on it.
Is that how? Is that how they killed her off a fence? What do you mean?
Yeah, fentanyl all over.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
They said she opened. That's
Yeah.
That's mean. Oh yeah. I mean, on 2.5 Men, they just said he died. Like flew off a cliff or something. Charlie Sheen, I believe.
Yeah.
And then for Roseanne, they're saying she OD'd on fentanyl.
Was
Yeah.
it Deidre's stuff? Whose stuff was it?
It was my stuff. I sold it to her.
Oh, shit.
And I'll be on the guest spot.
Okay.
Good for you. Yeah, and you having your back pain? You look like you lost a lot of weight.
He had lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I know. He's dying of AIDS.
Who is it? Last thing here, Magic Johnson theories. I know you've got one.
Oh, he's magic.
Cured his AIDS from being too good at basketball.
Yeah.
Easy shout out. I think that's all the time we have, guys. Canadian tour live. How many times you got? How many spots you got left here in Ontario?
We got Cornwall tomorrow night.
Yeah. We like to do our press at the very end.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't
Done.
smell.
Don't come. It's too late.
Yeah.
You fucked up. You missed out.
And then we're back in Alberta, baby.
Yeah, but we will be back out in Ontario. We had a great time, and we can't wait to do it again.
You should do one of these on your dime at one of your shows, and we'll do one of these. That's a great offer. Look, he's giving
What?
We're doing what? Oh,
podcast live on one of your.
do you know how fucking ridiculous that would be having an audience of our maniacs trying to like?
We tried that once, yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't get a word edgewise.
Well, the people at home could still hear.
Big difference.
We lock
Really?
the phones
They're
for a
loud.
reason. We don't want anyone at home tuning in.
That's fair.
Yeah, and we'd have to get like a chicken wire fence because the bottles would be raining down upon us if we were pulling that shit.
It's like Roadhouse if it was a glory hole.
Wait, what?
It's like Roadhouse if it was a glory hole.
It's accurate.
All right.
Oh, did I make the book? No.
What's the book?
They call me Stan and Frank, and I'm keeping a diary.
Receipts on everyone.
Yeah.
Seats on everything.
Okay, if I meet you, you make the book.
All right. Any final words from anybody?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Where's this going to be played?
The internet.
Oh, okay.
You like, oh yeah, that's it. The internet. You go on.
He's still trying to figure out where that is.
He did come downstairs today and go, where's the internet?
Spotify, iTunes,
Okay.
iHeartRadio.
Oh, wow.
What am I missing?
YouTube?
YouTube,
Amazon?
Rumble, Amazon Podcasts.
Ooh,
Any
Rumble.
place you get podcasts, it'll be on there.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Turn it up, Jordan.